single patriot backing out on his business on that day. And when we broke that door, and we chose to open his business, and police chose to push us back, guess what? We did not get down! We all seen the movie, the tyranny spreading fast and wide. Guess what? It's not a movie anymore. We live in it right now. We live in it right now. And remember that moment in the movie where you're standing against the force of tyranny? And people back in the tyranny are humans like you are, and you still with them with peace and love, with full heart. Full heart. I want you to put a hand on your heart right now. Connect to that moment. When you're standing against tyranny to protect yourself and your children that are not even born yet. Remember that moment in the movie where the police backed down? We live in this right now. We all live in this right now, that moment. And this is what's going to happen. Each of us have to see it's happening right now, in our mind and in our heart. When the push comes to shove, we're not gonna back down, and they're gonna stand down. Every single business should open on Monday. Open up! 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 Monday is the day. This week is the time. We open up! We have the signs, guys. If you have your business, or if you know the business that open up, come and grab the signs, because we are all essential. We are all essential. And freedom is essential. The time to be alive is right now. The last address I want to make, again, for the cops and the army. When the time comes for you to enforce tyranny or defend freedom, make the right choice. We want this work here and in here. Everybody. Thank you so much. Freedom! Freedom! we're always running out. He's such a nice guy. He doesn't come up here and be like, hey, let me show you, I'm going to beat you up on your skateboard. He doesn't do that kind of stuff. The one guy who does want to beat me up once in a while on my skateboard is the guy that, you know, we're gonna have one last speaker before we hit the road. Are you guys okay with that? And anybody that I miss, please, we'll speak to you guys next week, I promise you. Yes? You okay with that? Yes. I love pink stuff.
Yes, take as many as you want.
Trudeau needs to go home! Trudeau the bummer!
Trudeau, let's go!
Let's bring up Chris Sky up here!
Lock him up!
I believe he has a lovely message for you today.
Are you guys going to be here later? Of course. Yeah.
Trudeau is a naughty person. Here you go.
No more lockdown. You want some? So, okay,
How tired we get or behind schedule, there's always time to chant a little freedom, you know what I'm saying? Liberté! Liberté! We're just warming up for the march, right? So guys, just past, we did a little test with a little pots and pans protest up the street there at Queen's Park earlier this week. It was a great success. So thank you to the organizers of that for sure. Put your hands together for helping out. All right? Now what we're going to do is this. This Wednesday, we want these crowds out there, in addition to even more people, to have the biggest fucking fan protest in Canadian history in Queen's Park this Saturday. No, not yet for that Saturday. This Wednesday coming up. At 11 a.m., more than ever, we have to keep the pressure of these sitting politicians. Today, this is for the people of Toronto. Wednesday is for the politicians to get off their fat asses. We are practicing for more action to ensure the politicians never forget that we're the ones who have brought them to power. But that power has been misused long enough. They're not listening to us enough, but I'll tell you, we're going to have to keep reminding them of this action. What do you guys think? We're going to... In a couple of minutes. I'm like, there's already 6 to 8, 10 people that are already in line to speak and stuff, and they've sent me stuff via email to get into the speakers list. Please, guys, don't come to me. That's why we have these signs here, so that people don't come to me at the last minute trying to speak up here, okay? I will remind the speakers of how much time they have to speak. It's either 5 or 10 minutes based on your subject, and if I come close to your time limit, I'm going to let you know and give you a 1-minute heads up. Please do your best to understand. Don't take it personally when I'm trying to keep you on time. Do you guys hear me? Don't take it personally. We're all trying to help each other out here. There are other speakers here with important messages, and I have messages to deliver that are very key. If you constantly disregard my cues to wrap it up, I will give you 3 warnings and then cut off the mic. Has anybody seen me do that in 33 weeks? It only happened once. And I hate doing that, but I have to protect the people. Why? Because it's nothing personal. The people of Toronto are waiting for our message. Okay? The police are keeping traffic streets closed for us, and we need to stay on track. Thank you so much for listening and respecting the rules, so everyone is honored. Does everyone agree with me, yes or yes? Hold on there, hold on, Nico. It sounds like there's 1,000 people out here. I need to hear almost 6,000 of these people say yes or yes. Yes, people. Yes, yes, yes. Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! Rise up! Freedom! Freedom! Liberté! I love you guys so much. You know this. So with no further ado, my friends, I want to pepper in some news with some speakers, but I'm telling you, today, the reason you're here, and you haven't been asked to be up here, get here real close like we've been doing here, I'm telling you, today we have the most amazing list of speakers I have ever seen in 33 weeks! I'm going to introduce this gentleman, and you know what I'm talking about right here. The next person who's going to come up here to talk, I'm going to tell you what this is in a second here. Trained at McMaster University in psychology, family medicine, epidemiology, and clinical research, went to University of Ottawa for general and cosmetic surgery, is a clinical professor at McMaster University, currently studying for a Master of Theology at Tyndale College or University, published extensively in medical and surgical journals, and in the U.S., practiced family medicine and surgery for the past 35 years, developed a keen interest in epidemiology and management strategy of COVID-19, produced a YouTube video on the topic which yielded 11,000 views on the subject, is using his clinical research and epidemiology background to help us all out, is a member of the Great Barrington Declaration on the COVID protection model for COVID-19. Please welcome and thank goodness our medical professionals, police officers. At the end of the day, we stand with you. However, make the right choice and stand with your people, not the oppressors. Right? Having said that, our next speaker is a retired member of the OPP with 32 years of service. Duties with the OPP including emergency response team, forensic reconstruction, and highway safety division across the GTA. He is also a recipient of the Police Exemplary Service Medal. Put your hands together for Vince Garcia!
Oh my God, you gotta be there for that.
We'll start by thanking
Thanks, great to see you. Hey, bring it in. All right. Talk to you soon.
I mean this sincerely.
All right. Hey. Everybody. Yeah, so I've been running live since I got here. That's all you do. I want the world to see this because we know that when CTV gets we're going to take 5 or 6 snippets. We'll get someone's going to speak out of context.
No harm. This is all about the benefit and the risk ratio in clinical decision making. For example, as a surgeon, if I diagnose someone with appendicitis, I'm going to administer an operation, appendectomy. It makes sense. The benefits of the surgery outweigh the side effects. Now, what do you think if I said to you, I'm going to use a chainsaw to remove the appendix? You think that's a good idea? No, because the chainsaw would cause more harm than benefit. You're going to damage collateral vessels, nerves, organs, and you're going to do collateral damage, and your intent was to be very specific and focused. So in that case, the risks outweigh the benefit. Now there are cases where you will use a saw. For example, if someone has gangrene in a foot, they could actually damage the rest of the organs from that gangrene. So we actually will use a saw, sadly, and do an amputation in order to save that person's life. Now, in other words, an illness has to be very grave and very serious in order to implement very aggressive measures. That's the risk-benefit ratio, and that's the model of do no harm. Now let's apply this COVID-19. March 17th, we were told we have a pandemic of a very serious, very lethal virus, and they were shown videos of body bags in Italy and China, and we thought this is absolutely disastrous, so we need an aggressive approach, and hence lockdowns, social distancing, and all the other measures that came along with this very aggressive approach. Now, we say, why lockdowns? Why lockdowns? Well, at the time we were told that the benefits of lockdowns outweigh the risk, because if we do nothing, we're going to have droves of people, our friends, our family are actually going to die, and therefore we need a very aggressive approach. So we were told that the benefits of lockdown outweigh the side effects. Now, sometimes there is an appropriate approach for this. So we ran it along and we thought, okay, let's, it's going to be 2 weeks, no problem, flatten the curve. March 30th, Premier Doug Ford says, you know what, that 2 weeks wasn't enough. We need another 2 weeks because we haven't flattened the curve. So another 2 weeks come along, and then it's going to be 30 days, more lockdowns. So we started wondering, here's the thing, we started thinking, well, what's going on here? I started calling out my colleagues at the hospital and said, what's going on? How many COVID patients do you have? This must be a disaster.
The last guy.
We have 3 patients in the hospital. None of them are on ventilators. And none of us really found anybody who has COVID-19. Do you have friends or relatives with COVID-19? So we started wondering what exactly is going on. Is this chainsaw approach appropriate? Where did this come from, this chainsaw lockdown approach? Did you know that actually this approach was a result of a high school project by a 14-year-old young lady called Laura Glass? She said, well, let's see if with Spanish flu, if we apply lockdowns and social distancing, we can reduce the amount of contact over a period of time. Her dad was a computer modeler and he brought this to politicians and they loved it. And they said, next time we have a pandemic, we're going to do lockdowns and social distancing. Scientists said, no, this is not clinically proven. This is a high school project. Politicians went with it and they said, next time we have a pandemic, we're going to have a lockdown and social distancing. What I would call the chainsaw approach to management. Now you might say, well, this would be appropriate if hospital resources were strained, if we were out of personal protection equipment. But as time went on, you had so nice. We're not seeing ventilators being overextended. In fact, we're seeing the opposite. Hospitals are actually under as far as bed capacity. And so we're going to bigger figures, they're thinking what exactly is going on here.
To guard Adam's place. Thank you. Please join me. I'm going to sing the bilingual version. All right. Is Beyonce's I Was Here. And it would be great with music. Mr. Spencer? Yes, please. Let me explain. Do you guys know the song? Ironically, it was commissioned by the UN, commissioned to impress and inspire people to give humanitarian aid around the world. Well, what better time than now? Humanitarian crisis, where you're marking people out for common flu, for people who are not dying in the hospitals,
That's always the best thing.
No COVID, right? It's definitely.
Today. I went to Athens Pastry and Pie, no mask, and I went to Serrano Bakery, no mask. And I went to a gas station today, no mask, and I told the guy behind the cash to take off his mask, and he did. I'm so happy.
I leave this world, I leave no regret.
I want you all to understand that there's an even more sinister reason and plan behind what happened. And I'm going to explain it for all of you today. I don't want you to know. Why do you think one single business was singled out? They wanted to make an example. They wanted to speak loud and clear to everybody and tell you that you're not allowed to feed your family unless they say so. Their message was received loud and clear. But once again, why on one person? Why one restaurant? They wanted to scare the rest of you. They wanted to put the fear of government into your spine so you don't have the courage to stand up and do the same thing that Adam did. But the bottom line is, they know what they did will not stand up in court. They know what they did will not stop other people from saying anything. But what they do try is they try to give the impression that they're all powerful. They try to give the impression that they can make up laws on a whim. You know what they did? You know how they charged them? I'm going to explain it to you. Under the